the driver of that truck did not make it home alive. Why the person who got cut off there is now claiming self-defense.
Plus, flooding concerns all across the Suncoast will show you which roads you need to stay clear of tonight.
And record voter turnout across the state yesterday. We're digging into why. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Well, we're getting reports of flooding concerns in both Sarasota and Manatee counties.
That's right. You're looking at the view from our tower cam in downtown Sarasota. Right there, you can see the rain clouds rolling in over the last 2 hours. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob, how's that weather looking out there right now for us?
Well, we had some heavy rainfall about 2 hours ago, around 4 o'clock into Bradenton. Boy, it was heavy too. It came down at a rainfall rate of 2 inches per hour, and that did cause some flooding. The rain now rather light. Most of those roads, the water has subsided, so road flooding is becoming less and less of a concern due to the fact the light rain is out there right now. We're looking at generally a better round of showers and storms coming back into play tomorrow afternoon once again. As I mentioned, the strong cells well to our north now and out into the Gulf of Mexico. Still some light rainfall lingering and with an occasional lightning strike too, so keep that in mind. You can see a couple there near Arcadia. The rain's a little heavier there, but we're not up into the scale we were earlier this afternoon. This all moving to the north at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Light rain in Northport, Inglewood, who saw some pretty heavy rainfall, about 2 inches an hour. That's the rate it was falling at around 4 o'clock. Those strong cells now along, looks like the Sunshine Skyway Bridge moving to the north. Tough driving along Interstate 275 and near 75 in North Manatee County, as that is going to be exiting our viewing area in the next half hour. But you can see a lot of light rain still lingering all the way out to Wauchula. And that's the case this evening. For the next hour or so, we're going to be dealing with this light to moderate rainfall at times with an occasional lightning strike possible. Look at the rainfall totals near Inglewood and South Venice. 2.5 inches. The same goes true for right there in Manatee Avenue and 53rd Street, where the flooding was over the water, over the roadway there, causing significant concerns for drivers. Now, we have a situation. Yesterday, we were talking about the potential for a tropical low, maybe a depression or a tropical storm forming near South Florida. Well, less and less chance of that happening now as the European has backed off on its solution, which is a little unusual. The European usually is the late runner when it comes to developing these storms, and the GFS usually does it sooner. So that was a little concerning, but this is the tropical wave that is heading our way. Regardless of what happens with it, we are going to see an increase in rainfall, especially Monday and Tuesday, and possibly even the Wednesday of next week. You're wondering, how can we get more? Well, this will increase the moisture availability for the storms and create a little bit more instability in the atmosphere. We're also watching this wave. This could become Florence, but the news is it looks like it'll head off into the Atlantic. Well, much more on all this coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. We told you about flooding concerns, both Manatee and Sarasota County. Sarasota police earlier this afternoon warning people to avoid driving on US 41 between Fruitville and 6th Street in Sarasota. Police say there was a significant amount of water on the road there, which does typically happen during heavy rain events, and it was not safe to drive through it.
Bradenton police are also warning people of dangerous floods in the area. Our crews were out there just moments after police put up these roadblocks. Southern Parkway West is now reopened after 2 hours. Police now warning people to drive carefully as the roads are still wet.
And some breaking news out of Venice tonight. Emergency crews trying to determine if the structure collapse at a Wells Fargo bank was weather related. Crews were on the scene when that happened. This is what it looked like. The Wells Fargo branch on South Tamiami Trail lost its drive-through overhang just after 4 o'clock. No one was hurt. Crews are still there making sure the rest of that building is safe.
Well, yesterday's primary elections showed that Florida shattered voter turnout expectations, Manatee and Sarasota counties included.
Both counties had more residents vote in yesterday's primary than in any other in recent years. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us now in the studio. And Jess, what's behind these higher than average turnout numbers?
Well, Jacqueline and Scott, everyone obviously has their own motivations to getting out to the polls. For some people, it was the local races, but for many more, it was the top ticket item, the gubernatorial race.
Edward James III hosted events prior to Tuesday's election, with the goal being to drive voters to the polls.
Oftentimes people sit out primary elections, and with so many important races on the ballot, we thought that it would be important just to really push the voter turnout, particularly in North Sarasota.
The community did something right because both Sarasota and Manatee counties had about 32% of voters cast ballots in this election.
I think yesterday proves that polls don't vote and that people do, and that oftentimes, pollsters and pundits get it wrong.
The most likely ballot driver, the gubernatorial race.
And it's a little unusual to have both parties have really competitive races. So on the Republican side, it did seem like we mostly knew which way it was going, but there was enough uncertainty.
Also, the fact that the president endorsed a candidate in the race helped drive voters as well.
I was at the rally in Tampa. People all across that rally were telling me they've never heard of Ron DeSantis before, but my God, they're going to vote for him no matter what because he's Trump's #1 boy.
Sarasota County Supervisor of Elections attributes part of the uptick in voter turnout to the increased number of races on the ballot.
You had gubernatorial races, you had all the cabinet seats, Attorney General, Commissioner of Agriculture, state representatives, congressional seats, county commission, 3 high-profile school board races on there, right? A judicial race for a circuit judge's race. There was something for everyone to vote on yesterday, regardless of party affiliation.
ABC7 took to Facebook to see what issues were important to you and why you made sure to cast your ballot on Election Day. John Perez says, change in the old mentality. The politicians that are in office now have a primitive way of thinking. Roseanne Ferrante says, because I am a registered nonpartisan, there are not too many I can vote for in a primary. I voted this year because I feel we need to start with changes at the local level, the school board. Political analysts we spoke with say they expect this higher than average voter turnout to carry through November.
In November, we have the highly contested U.S. Senate race between Senator Bill Nelson and Governor Rick Scott. Then obviously that competitive gubernatorial election as well. Millions of dollars are expected to be spent on all of those campaigns, which is likely to drive voter turnout. Scott.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. New at 6 tonight, the 911 call from an Uber driver in Central Florida. Listen to what he had to say moments after he fatally shot a man after he cut him off last night.
He ran me off road, jumped out of his vehicle. I couldn't get away. He came towards me, shouted he's got a pistol, reached for his waistband. I fired one shot from my pistol. He dropped the cell phone. I kicked it away. I didn't realize it was a cell phone at first. He's got a single gunshot, center square mass to chest.
Well, the moments leading up to the phone call were all caught on camera. Take a look.
I say something? You want my pistol? You want me to shoot you? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Uber driver Robert Westlake is now claiming self-defense. He told Polk County Sheriff's deputies the man was trying to force him off the road and tailing him aggressively for a while. Now deputies are investigating the death of the victim, identified as Jason Boak.
A Sarasota man is facing charges tonight after sheriff's deputies say he cut off a portion of his dog's tail with branch clippers. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies were first alerted to Pablo Vega Padron earlier this month when a neighbor shared their concerns about the man's Chihuahua Terrier mix named Randy. When Animal Services arrived, they found that the small dog had bandages on its tail and front legs. Vega Padron told them that the dog's tail was infected, but after a vet visit, it was revealed that a portion of the dog's tail was missing. Later, deputies say Vega Padron admitted to cutting off the dog's tail because it was rotting. Veterinary staff confirmed that the tail did suffer a fracture and should have been surgically removed by medical professionals. Neighbors now say they're shocked.
It's understandable, different cultures do different things with different animals, for aesthetic purposes, and it's kind of just a custom. But there's a lot of things that are cultural customs that we just don't do anymore because they're cruel.
Vega Padron has since been released on bond. Randy, the Chihuahua Terrier mix, has been adopted and is expected to make a full recovery.
Port Manatee getting more than $250,000 from the federal government. A $326,000 federal grant will help the port improve its security. In a mutual agreement, the port will add 25% of that to update its access control system. Port Manatee is the closest U.S. deepwater seaport to the expanded Panama Canal and generates more than $2 billion in estimated revenue for the Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, we're entering the peak of hurricane season. I'll tell you what local governments are doing to make sure people are prepared for the worst.
And how a new program is connecting senior citizens and young professionals in Sarasota.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment, and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs Right at Home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call Right at Home. Get the right care right at home.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
Well, we are entering the peak of hurricane season, and we'll be watching a new tropical system that may be heading our way next week for the potential of any development.
It's a good reminder to be prepared for a storm. ABC7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us live now to show us how the city of Venice is making some changes to its storm plan. Rebecca?
Scott, Jack, and the city of Venice wants to make sure its residents are prepared just in case, and that they know the changes on this year's emergency disaster plan.
The city of Venice does not want residents to wait for that official hurricane warning to get the supplies needed for a storm. The first thing they advise is that all homes be secured with loose items tied down or put away. Then pack an emergency kit with all the tools you'll need, like flashlights, medications, and water.
You want to have cash on hand. You want to have backup power supplies such as batteries, generators. But some of the things that people don't remember is that you want to have gallons of water with you. Most people, on average, it's a gallon of water per day per person. So those are some of the things that we try to stress that people just forget about.
And as we prepare for any storms coming our way this year, the city has added a few things to its emergency disaster plan to ensure everyone is able to get the safety they need.
Resources that we use is Code Red. We want to make sure that our citizens are signed up, and that's one of the fastest ways that we can notify you of any type of emergency in a timely fashion.
Code Red will send up-to-date information through text messages, phone calls, emails, or any form of communication you provide to the city. And of course, know your evacuation zone and have a plan. The City of Venice does not have any hurricane shelters, so residents must go to evacuation centers off the island. All shelters will be opening up at one time, not in waves, based off of the need like in the past. But for Venice residents who do not have a way to get to these shelters in other parts of the county, there will be a new transportation system so that buses can pick you up and take you to safety.
This year we have the transportation policy that has been put in place by the county's emergency management staff, and that plan allows for people who cannot drive to a shelter. We do have means of mass transportation to get them to there. Again, that's for those who are physically unable to get themselves to a shelter or a center.
This year's emergency disaster plan with all the new changes can be found on our website as well as the City of Venice's website and Facebook page. Live in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
All right, Rebecca, thank you.
Good reminders, great information there for this time of year.
Always good. And systems can pop up very quickly this time of year. This is the peak at September 10th, the actual day that we see the most storms over the years. We haven't gotten there yet. Forget about tropical weather. I mean, we've got our own situations to deal with. A roof collapse in Venice today at a bank, as well as several mobile homes destroyed or at least ripped apart a couple days ago, and then the flooding problems we saw on Manatee Avenue. So storms can pop up quickly. We talked about it last night that this system has a chance of developing, but this is what happened in 2005. And get a look at Katrina. This became a major hurricane, Category 5 at one point. It actually started right by the Bahamas and then worked across South Florida, and then in the Gulf over the very warm water, developed into a 5 with winds up to 190 miles an hour. It went down to a 3 right before it made landfall in New Orleans, and it was weakening as it did so, but it created the strongest and highest storm surge ever recorded in U.S. history at 28 feet right into Mississippi. And that's 3 stories high, if you want to get a feel for that. $100 billion damage, and again, 1,500 people died as a result of Katrina, most of them in New Orleans as a result of the flooding and the barriers and the dikes breaking there. As Lakewood Ranch webcam goes, you can see quite a bit of clouds around this afternoon with some very heavy rainfall at times. That rain at the rate of 2 inches per hour, which is fairly typical for a moist environment, and that's what we saw today in Mayaca City. Get a look at that shelf cloud. Very interesting. It's attached to the storm, so that's called a shelf cloud. This sometimes goes out ahead of it. That's a roll cloud, and that's when it's separated from the actual storm itself. Another perspective of a different one, Jan Foster from University Parkway, and boy, a lot of lightning out there. Lightning has been very intense as of late, and it still kind of lingers even after the big storms move on, so keep that in mind. Even though we have light rainfall there in Inglewood, there's another storm developing. You can see that just near Punta Gorda. This shows you that the energy is still in the atmosphere. And boy, Arcadia getting hit by another heavy storm with a few lightning strikes there. So I would expect the showers and storms to continue here for the next hour or so, and it looks to be a little bit of an active night, especially inland counties for the next couple of hours there. But light rain from Inglewood to Venice. South Venice, 2.5 inches of rainfall. Also into Bradenton, just to the west of downtown, over 2.5 inches estimated from the Doppler radar site. And Wauchula, you're not over yet. You had a big storm just about an hour ago, another one headed in your direction. Don't expect anything severe, but heavy rainfall is going to be an issue because the ground is really saturated right now, and we do have flood advisory still in effect for some of the rivers and streams across our viewing area. Futurecast showing that most of the rain over by 9 o'clock tonight, and then we'll see a good chance for scattered storms tomorrow. I don't think as widespread of a rain event that we saw today, simply because there's a little drier air that will settle in. It's now parked to the east of the state. But by Friday, showers and storms could cause some problems for the high school football action in the afternoon and evening, although this particular model not indicating as much. But by the weekend, a tropical wave will get close to us and bring us an enhanced storm, I think, on into Monday and Tuesday. I mentioned that wave right there. It is. This is the one we're watching as it makes its way to the west. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Right now, the European model has backed off on it developing, and this one coming off the coast of Africa, a fairly significant wave, that's going to move into the north central Atlantic. But the European model, which yesterday had a close low, today does not. So that's good news. It does once it gets into the northern portion of the Gulf of Mexico on Wednesday of next week. That would increase our winds too, by the way. There'll be more offshore too throughout Tuesday and Wednesday. For boaters, east winds at 10 knots. Seas will be running 1 to 2 feet with a light chop out there. And the 7-day forecast, keep your umbrellas handy. Heavy showers and storms each and every afternoon, it looks like, and maybe even a better chance for some more widespread rain depending upon that tropical wave come Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. A new home sharing pilot program is underway in Sarasota. It will connect senior homeowners who have some extra space with young professionals who are looking for affordable housing. Friendship Center Sarasota is behind this new program. To apply, homeowners and young professionals need to fill out an application and then go through an extensive background check. Once approved, both have the ability to look at profiles and then choose someone they think would be a good fit. Friendship Center officials say this is not a caregiver situation.
It's a private agreement between both parties so they can determine how they want to exchange services, like maybe the younger person will do some laundry or yard work, that kind of thing. But it's not an expectation. It really is a situation where people are going to live together.
Rent will be decided by the homeowner, and the new program has already had about 10 applicants so far. Sounds like it could really work here.
Yeah, really could. We'll have to wait and see. Well, stay with us. When we come back, we'll give you a sneak peek at the new Siesta Key trolleys.
Coming up tonight, the outrage over the words used today by a candidate for governor and anchor on Fox saying, "We do not condone this language." The deadly heat wave, the train catching fire, an 11-year-old girl dying in a hot car, and 3 confirmed tornadoes tonight. Next.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $22,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation. conservation.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
I'm Alan Cohn. Who is paying the cost of the uninsured? Whether you have insurance or not, going to the hospital is expensive, so who is flipping the bill?
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
The next time you take a ride on the Siesta Key Breeze Trolley, you can expect to ride in style. The county announcing that it has 3 brand new trolleys that have wood seats and brass railings. The route is free to passengers and runs from the Siesta Key Village all the way down to Turtle Beach.
I've heard tourists love it.
Yeah,
you know,
can come in handy with all the parking problems.
Up and down the key.
Yeah, and I'm getting reports on social media that the red tide not as bad as it has been. Just bad now is some rainfall still falling, and some of it could be moderate to heavy in isolated areas through the next couple of hours.
Okay,
all right.
Bob, thank you. Thank you for joining us. World News Tonight with David Muir is coming up next.
We'll see you again at 7 and 11. Have a good night.